that's not true.
Why would you want to do that?
Because I don't think I'm any different from you see.
We much different.
Welcome to WatchMojoUK, and today we're counting down our picks for the moments in popular British chat, talk and magazine show interviews in which the air cooled and the tension was palpable.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
I don't know where your head is. Darling, I do not know where your head is at this moment. I know it's on the top of your shoulders, but...
Number 10. Mark Wahlberg is inebriated. The Graham Norton Show. As is standard for the long-running Friday night chat show, guests are given libations of their choosing before sitting on Graham Norton's sofa. Clearly, Wahlberg had indulged a little too much pre-show, as his performance here led to some uncomfortable moments.
My dad had a retail store, a discount women's clothing store called Crazy Sophie's Factory Outlet.
It smells so good.
Norton struggles to maintain a semblance of a conversation until the actor starts flirting, or manhandling, a sober Sarah Silverman. And then he sits on Graham's seat, with Graham still on it.
Aww, this is so inappropriate. Aww. That's wrong. Don't touch the man there.
Introduce drink to any situation and control will quickly dissipate. In this case, as fast as Marky Mark's red wine into his bloodstream. After a bizarre erotic display and a deliberately off-camera nap time for Wahlberg during Michael Fassbender's story, Norton inexplicably gives the inebriated actor control of the red chair.
Brace yourself, Megan. What do you do in Dublin?
I'm a nurse. I live here now, though.
She's a nurse.
Oh, you poor thing. Why don't you help people?
Number 9. Jennifer Arcuri says nout. Good morning, Britain.
You know what's really going on here. I mean, you know why he's doing this.
It's awkward for him.
He's the Prime Minister and he's living with somebody else. He's moved on with his life. This was a few years ago. And this, he just wants to be able to move on.
But funny, so do I.
Surprisingly, this particular interview wasn't particularly heated. In fact, by GMB standards, it was rather tame. But in the moments after, things took a cool turn by the involvement of an outside party, and one we didn't expect.
I know, it doesn't make any sense. What's the point of you coming on and then not saying anything?
I'm sorry?
What is the point of you coming on the TV to clear the air and then you don't say anything?
After a disappointing interview with American tech entrepreneur and former mistress of Boris Johnson, Jennifer Arcuri, Piers Morgan and Susanna Reid handed over to Lorraine Kelly for what was usually her general rundown of what to expect in her following show. But not this time. Instead, Kelly let out her journalistic side in quite a surprising and cutthroat way.
Well, you didn't answer any of the questions that were put to you, and I just don't see the point of you coming on, to be honest.
When she criticised Arcuri for telling us nothing in a tell-all interview, cameras hastily cut back to a red-faced Arcuri who, again, had no answers.
Anyway, let me tell you what's coming on after 8:30.
Number 8. Disgraced Jones. The Russell Harty Show.
Now get some rest before he comes over to see you.
As long as I don't eat the turkey.
Right, fine. Or the stuffing even.
For budding chat show hosts, this legendary became a cautionary example. For Russell Harty, however, it was a bad night at work. In the years since this uncomfortable interview, Grace Jones admitted that she was heavily under the influence of illegal substances. But perhaps a retrospective viewing shows she wasn't solely guilty of derailing the show.
Edward Wimper. Because trying to squeeze blood out of a stone at the moment, but no doubt she'll relax as we get along.
Have you fall out of the chair?
Yeah, that's right. Fall back on it now.
During the 1980 interview, Jones became more and more agitated, continually alleging that Harty was frequently turning his back on her. It culminated in her physically attacking him, slapping him a few times. The assault is definitely out of order, but was it the result of paranoia coupled with a tricky set design? Or was Harty, and his other guests, rude and pushing Jones's buttons? Jury's out.
Turn your back on me anymore.
I can't look at you. Now, hold.
Don't.
Number 7. Kim Woodburn versus This Morning, Loose Women, et al. This Morning and Loose Women.
No, I'm sorry. You weren't there to know where you fell. Yeah. I went through hell on the earth. I was told that I was get back to your cleaning, woman.
We saw that on the telly.
Which is disgraceful.
These days, cleaning guru Kim Woodburn is more known as a live TV fighter. Both, yes, 2 of her tense interviews stem from her infamous anger mismanagement in the Celebrity Big Brother house. Her ire focused on winner Colleen Nolan, and Woodburn tried to justify it through interview rounds. First stop was This Morning, where she snapped at Philip Schofield for simply proposing that there could be 2 sides to the story.
You won't get phone this out of me till I'm 74 years of age. That you've got a long time to go. You've got a long time to work on television. If I never got another television job, I couldn't give a toss. So you see, I can't. I'm not a diplomat like you. If I was your age, I was sitting there. Oh, now you know that I have got not 1 second of my life for bull.
But then she was offered an olive branch. Meet Colleen on her show, Loose Women, to reconcile. And they hugged it out. Just kidding. Woodburn actually went in all guns blazing. And the panel, which included Colleen's sister, bit back hard.
And then gradually, we were near the end and I just couldn't stand it anymore. So if that makes me two-faced, then yeah, I guess I was two-faced.
Janet Street Porter did try to keep things civil, but Woodburn snapped and walked.
You're showing yourself in your true colours, Kim. You are showing yourself in your true colours.
She is trash.
She wants to draw lines.
She is trash.
Number 6. Ali versus Parkinson, rematch. Parkinson.
Here he is in all his splendour. Ladies and gentlemen, Muhammad Ali.
In one corner, Michael Parkinson, a proud Yorkshireman and son of a miner. In the other corner, often touted as the greatest boxing heavyweight of all time, Muhammad Ali. The fight, an interview for the ages, which looking back on would be a real turning point for both men.
So listen, tell me when I'm wrong. Pigeons want to be with pigeons.
But
tell me when I'm wrong. They don't have intelligence, but yet they stay together. We should have more intelligence than them, right? Buzzers are with buzzers.
Parky admitted that he didn't care for Ali at first, and their first encounter was indeed tense. Ali was typically passionate about his beliefs, but unlike many other interviewers who the boxing legend had encountered, Parky pushed back, challenging him and unabashedly contradicting the former heavyweight champion.
I think that's a philosophy of despair.
Despair?
I really do.
It ain't no despair.
Yeah?
Number one, can't no woman. Let me tell you something. Yeah, I want to tell you.
Though it seemed heated and certainly tense, it was golden for both men. Ali had not only found someone willing to debate him, but an unlikely friend. Number 5. Bee Gees Be Gone. Clive Anderson All Talk.
Well, it's a slightly cheesy introduction, but then why not?
Good.
But
you can do it again afterwards, can't you?
Adding to Harty's efforts with Grace Jones, this entry also exemplifies what not to do for interviews. Audiences eager to see how Clive Anderson's acerbic wit would go down with guests certainly found out when the Bee Gees entered the interview and angrily exited. Things started okay-ish, but took a turn as Anderson's snarky style clashed with the group.
No, when you see, I kind of slipped off when you went into that, you know,
yes, of course,
Saturday Night Fever and the
hyper... that was our new album. We didn't write for the film.
No,
they just used our music in the film, so...
But I found that difficult to follow the hype. My dog loves it, but I was just...
Particularly Barry Gibb, who seethed throughout amid frequent jibes about fashion, music and previous names. The elder Gibb was almost back on side until Anderson brought up the solos released during the Bee Gees' acrimonious hiatus.
I can't even remember
we had
why.
one at the same time called Don't Forget to Remember, which was interesting.
I've forgotten that one. But
It may have been a pun misfire, but Anderson's claim of forgetting Don't Forget to Remember saw Barry, then Robin, and finally a hesitant Maurice, jive-walking out.
In fact, I might just leave.
Oh, I've never had anyone walk out before, but...
we are a tosser, pal. So anyway... everybody.
This is a setup.
Oh, well, I guess I better join them.
Number 4. Woody Allen's genuine discomfort. Parkinson.
My life has always been a very open book. I mean, even when I first started as a comedian, I always spoke about, freely about my life, about my marriage, about my girlfriends.
Perhaps Michael Parkinson appearing so much on this list is a testament to his legacy. Yes, his interviews could become tense, but Parky would embrace that. He dared to ask tough questions, sometimes ones that guests mightn't have liked, but were actually better off for answering.
I'm not going to pursue it to the point where you're going to be embarrassed by it, and I wouldn't do it at all. I mean,
You promise?
I promise.
Why don't I trust them? I should.
True, it made for compelling TV, but that's besides the point. Take this 1999 interview with Woody Allen as a prime example. Admittedly, the auteur is known for being a bag of anxiety, but only in role. Here, he's naturally but uncharacteristically tense after Parkinson turns the conversation to Allen's custody battles and relationship with his children.
In the case you can't see one of your children now, and the other one you can. Is that the sort of silly, topsy-turvy manner of it all?
Yeah, why are you so interested in this?
Initially, Allen doesn't react well, perhaps sceptical that he's being fished for gossip, but Parky's argument wins him over. Use this opportunity to tell your side. Number 3. Snow on brand. Channel 4 News.
Yeah, John, in my particular case, what would have helped is regulation and therapy. I'm not talking about let's have a free-for-all, some crazy whacked-out world where everyone's on drugs. I'm saying that drugs should be pharmaceutical quality, they should be controlled and prescribed.
Whilst news programmes aren't talk shows per se, Channel 4 does blur the lines, integrating sit-down interviews with reports. And whilst what we've learned about Russell Brand since this one makes it easy to dislike him, at the time, an interview with Jon Snow wasn't expected to be particularly contentious.
But Russell, there's a confusion here.
There's not confusion,
You said
John.
don't vote to young. You said Russell Brand, have never voted.
I never
right?
will be. Yeah, John, I maintain this.
But
after all, Snow usually dissected politicians and powerful people, and this interview could very well have been an easy day at the office for him. But relaxed wasn't what we got, however, as Brand spoke very passionately and confrontational about the need for reforming the UK's punitive response to substance abuse. It got more anxious as Snow pressed on Brand's abstinence to voting as acting in opposition to inciting democratic change.
I'm here to talk about the issue around drugs. In countries like Portugal and Switzerland, where they have reformed their drug laws, people are not dying of this disease in such huge numbers. Crime is dropping. HIV infection is dropping. That's important. That's more important than you, an entertainer, getting me, another entertainer, to cook up a wacky version of politics so you can make me look a bit daft.
Number 2. Vivienne Westwood versus an entire audience. Wogan.
I mean, if they don't stop laughing, I shall tell the next person not to come on.
Oh, dear. You're not to laugh.
The late, great Terry Wogan had many tense interviews over the tenure of his eponymous chat show. Just ask David Icke. But Wogan wasn't present for this equally uneasy interview with legendary fashion designer Dame Vivienne Westwood. Sue Lawley, standing in, was arguably somewhat tactless as Westwood began a fashion parade of her new collection, met with laughter from the audience.
That is, but she looks like a chip shop, that one.
Guest Russell Harty, who probably should have known better by then, continually antagonised. Westwood, flustered, had already threatened to end the segment prematurely, and was, despite denials, clearly upset.
What you want, it depends what you want. If you want all the men on the building site to whistle at you, just wear it and you get a reaction. I mean...
But are they whistling for the right reasons?
Of course.
What are the right reasons for
that they fancy you?
Thankfully, our resident peacemaker Janet Street Porter was also a guest and tried to calm things down. But the tense moment lives forever, albeit thanks, in part, to Alan Partridge.
And on that note, we haven't upset you, have we?
No,
not in the least.
Listen,
You're very
I
kind.
don't mind. In fact, I'm quite pleased, but I usually don't get that kind of reaction.
Number 1. That bloody bird. Parkinson. As the phrase goes, never work with children or animals. Unfortunately...
I mean, definitely second-rate creatures. And thank God they're not in this country at all. And this is the moment...
It's hard to define what either guest is on this occasion. Making his third and final appearance on this list, it had to be Parky's regrettable encounter with Emu. Or rather, the puppeteer operating the bird, Rod Hull, who got right on the late veteran host's nerves. Quite literally, at one point, as Hull, attacked and bit Parkinson's arm and pushed him off the chair. Parkinson was clearly getting frustrated, not realising this was typical of Emu's chat show appearances, but somehow managed to laugh it off. Frequent guest Billy Connolly, however, was not impressed, threatening to break bones if Hull tried the same with him. Since then, Emu, or rather Hull, decided to give peace a chance.
Now just let Mr. Parkinson give you a little stroke. Go on. See that? He's quite nice, isn't he?
Were there any of these tense moments that you saw unfold live? Tell us your reaction in the comments.
Now, can we get something established so that you're not going to walk out on me, are you?
No, you're going to walk out on us.
I'm going to walk out on you,
You
OK.
can come with us, actually, Mike. Good for you.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojoUK and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.